Hey there, beautiful souls. You're watching Lunar Truths. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials. Now, let's begin. Luna's voice trembled as she hit stop on the camera. The words still echoed in her mind, surreal and weighty. She turned toward the mirror, heart fluttering in her chest. "Is this really me?" she whispered, hardly daring to believe what she saw. The reflection staring back wasn't perfect. Not yet, but it was hers. Her jawline seemed softer, her cheekbones more defined, and her hazel eyes carried a brightness that hadn't been there before. Maybe it was the lighting, or maybe it was the quiet joy glowing from within. She brushed a strand of shoulder-length auburn hair behind her ear, marvelling at its silky feel. She'd been growing it out for months, but today it finally felt right. For the first time, the woman in the mirror didn't feel like a dream or a costume. "Hello, Luna," she murmured. The name rolled off her tongue like music. Gentle, natural, true. She smiled, small but radiant. Today wasn't just another morning. Today was a beginning, the first day she felt whole. The hormones had been working their quiet magic for months, but the change she saw now was more than physical. It was emotional, spiritual, a reunion with herself. Tears blurred her reflection, happy tears. She couldn't even remember the last time she'd cried out of joy. Dabbing carefully at her eyes, she laughed softly, mindful not to smudge her light makeup. She was still learning, endless tutorials, practice runs in front of her phone's front camera, but each day she got a little better. A deep breath steadied her. She glanced around her small studio apartment, sunlight spilling through the curtains, catching on the piles of thrift store books and mismatched furniture. It wasn't fancy, but it was hers, a space where she could exist freely. Luna moved to her closet, fingers grazing the few outfits she'd collected over time, a mix of budget finds and small splurges she'd treated herself to. She pulled out a soft lilac sweater and dark jeans, simple but feminine, confident. Today had to be perfect, her first day at a new job, and the first day she'd step into the world fully herself. As she dressed, memories drifted in. Long, difficult nights, painful goodbyes, moments of doubt, but also laughter, compassion, and unexpected kindness. People who saw her, people who stayed. She thought of her parents, their confusion, their cautious words, their slow but steady steps towards understanding. And her sister, Aria, steadfast, loving, always in her corner. Luna made a note to call her later. Aria had been there since the first trembling confession. The first person to say, "I'm proud of you, Luna." Fully dressed, Luna gave herself one last look in the mirror. Ordinary, unremarkable even. And somehow that felt extraordinary. For so long she had felt alien in her own skin. Now she just looked like any other woman ready to start her day. "You've got this," she told her reflection. She grabbed her purse, phone, and lunch, hesitating only when her eyes fell on a framed photo. Her old friends, laughing in a park, arms thrown around a version of her that no longer existed. With a quiet sigh, she turned it face down. Maybe one day she'd reach out, but not today. Today was for moving forward. The city buzzed to life as Luna stepped outside, blending into the morning crowd. She caught fleeting glimpses of herself in shop windows, each one sending a spark of disbelief and pride through her. This was real. She was real. The temp agency's office sat tucked in a modest downtown building. Luna's nerves buzzed as she rode the elevator to the 5th floor. She'd worked before, but this was her first career step as herself. The receptionist smiled warmly. "Good morning. How can I help you?" "Hi, I'm Luna Rivera. I'm starting today as an administrative assistant." "Of course." "Welcome aboard, Luna. I'll let Diane know you're here." As Luna waited, she found herself fiddling with her bag strap. What if they could tell? What if they noticed? "Luna." "I'm Diane, office manager. It's wonderful to meet you." The woman's smile was kind, disarming. Luna exhaled, tension easing. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. We're glad to have you, Diane said, gesturing for her to follow. Let me show you around. As they walked the bright, bustling office, Diane explained the company's work and clients. It all felt new, but promising. And this will be your desk, she said, pointing to a tidy workspace. We'll get you set up shortly. Introductions came fast. Names, faces, handshakes. Everyone seemed polite, even friendly. Luna found herself relaxing, letting her guard drop bit by bit. By lunchtime, she'd started to settle in, moving through tasks with growing confidence. Hey, new girl, called a cheerful voice. Luna looked up to see a woman with short curls and a bright smile.
She smiled and said, "And you were my home." That night I realized something. New York is magical, but it's the people we love who make it truly special. Final thoughts. To anyone reading this, never stop dreaming. Life is full of challenges, but if you keep going, believe in yourself, and stay strong, you will succeed. Don't rush. Success takes time. Learn from your failures. Enjoy the journey, and never forget, you are powerful. Love yourself. Love your dreams. Love your life. New York has given me love, growth, and unforgettable memories. But this is just the beginning. Maybe one day I'll start my own company, travel the world with Camilla, or buy a house with a garden for Bosco. For now, I'm enjoying each day, because every day in New York is a story worth telling. Now it's your turn. What's on your bucket list? What's your biggest dream? Leave a comment and let's make this a place full of hope, positivity, and motivation. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories, lessons, and inspiration. The best is yet to come. Star.
Stepping into the light. The afternoon passed in a blur of learning and quiet concentration. Luna slipped into the rhythm of the office quickly, typing up schedules, sorting emails, updating spreadsheets. It was simple work, but it gave her something she'd longed for, a sense of normalcy. By 5 o'clock, she'd almost forgotten to be nervous. As she packed her bag, Diane passed by her desk. Great first day, Luna. You're settling in. Nicely? Luna smiled, warmth spreading through her chest. Thank you, Diane. That means a lot. See you tomorrow, Diane said. And with that, Luna stepped out into the fading afternoon sunlight, feeling lighter than she had in years. On impulse, she stopped at a small cafe she'd often walked past but never entered. Twinkling lights framed the window and the smell of baked bread drifted through the door. She ordered a bowl of pasta and sat by herself near the back, a book open but mostly unread. Around her, life buzzed softly, laughter from a nearby table, the clinking of cups, a child's giggle. Ordinary moments, and for the first time, Luna felt like she belonged among them. No more pretending, no more hiding, just another woman enjoying dinner after work. When the waiter came by, he paused, concern flickering across his face. Everything all right, miss? Luna smiled, blinking away the tears she hadn't realised had formed. Everything's perfect. Thank you later. Back in her apartment, Luna changed into her softest pyjamas and curled up on the couch. Her phone buzzed. 5 missed messages from Aria. Aria, you're killing me, Lou. How was the big day? Luna laughed and hit the call button. Aria answered instantly. Finally! So, tell me everything. It was amazing, Luna said, sinking deeper into the couch cushions. Better than I imagined. Everyone was so kind, and I didn't feel like I was pretending. Not once. I knew you'd crush it, Aria said, her voice brimming with pride. I'm so happy for you. They talked until Luna's eyes grew heavy. After hanging up, she sat in silence for a moment, the weight of the day settling around her like a warm blanket. On a whim, she reached for her old journal, its cover worn, pages creased. She hadn't written in it since before she started hormone therapy. She opened to a fresh page and began to write, "Dear self, today, for the first time, I looked in the mirror and saw me. Really, me. The woman I've always been is finally visible, and it feels like waking from a long, dark dream." Her handwriting wavered as tears filled her eyes again, but they were gentle tears, cleansing. "I know there will still be hard days. There always are. But I also know that I'm strong enough to face them, because I finally know who I am, and I'm proud of her." She closed the journal, pressed it to her chest, and let herself breathe. The days that followed became a soft blur of routine and discovery. Luna's confidence grew with each passing week. She found herself chatting more with her co-workers, laughing at office jokes, even joining Megan and the others for Friday happy hours. "You fit right in," Megan told her one evening as they walked home together. "Feels like you've been here forever." Luna smiled shyly. "Thank you, Megan. That really means a lot." Outside of work, Luna began exploring new sides of herself. She joined a local book club where she met people who shared her love for stories and conversation. She tried yoga for the first time, awkward but freeing. Little things that once felt out of reach now seemed possible. There were still moments that stung, like when her old ID didn't match her reflection, or when a stranger's look lingered a little too long. But those moments no longer defined her. They were passing clouds, not storms. One Saturday, Luna wandered into a department store to restock on shampoo, but found herself drawn to the makeup counter. A friendly salesperson greeted her with a bright smile. "Can I help you find something, hon?" Luna hesitated. "I'm not really sure. I'm still figuring out what works for me." "No problem at all," the woman said warmly. "Let's start with a foundation that matches your skin. We'll take it step by step." An hour later, Luna hardly recognised the woman in the mirror. Her skin glowing, her lips soft pink, her eyes framed just right. Not someone transformed, but someone revealed. "It's perfect," she whispered. The woman beamed. "You're beautiful, sweetheart." Don't ever doubt that Luna left the store with a bag of products and a heart full of gratitude. That night she called Aria again. "I did something scary today," she confessed with a laugh. "Makeup counter, full lesson. I think I actually pulled it off." Aria squealed. "I'm so proud of you. You're blooming, Lou." "I feel like I am," Luna said softly. "It's like I'm finally allowed to love myself." There was a pause, then Aria's gentle voice. "Mom and Dad were asking if you'd come over for dinner next weekend." "Only if you want to." Luna froze, her pulse quickening. It had been months since she'd seen them in person. Their calls were polite but careful, their words tentative. "I think I'd like that," she said finally. "Yeah, tell them I'll be there." All week, Luna's nerves hummed beneath the surface. What would she wear? What would she say? Would they see her? Really see her? At work, Megan noticed her distraction. "You okay?" "Just a big family dinner coming up," Luna admitted. "First one since everything." Megan's expression softened. "That's huge, Luna. You've got this. Just be yourself." "That's enough," Luna smiled gratefully. "Thanks, Meg. I needed to hear that." Coming home. Saturday evening arrived before Luna felt ready. She stood outside her parents' house, heart thundering in her chest. The front porch looked the same as always. The wind chime still tinkled softly, the welcome mat still slightly frayed at the corner, yet everything felt different. She smoothed down her simple blue dress, adjusted the delicate pendant at her throat, and took a deep breath before ringing the doorbell. The door opened. Her mother stood there, her eyes wide, mouth slightly open. "Luna." "Oh." For a moment, neither of them moved. Then her mother's expression softened. "Come in, sweetheart." Her father appeared in the hallway, hands shoved awkwardly in his pockets. He looked uncertain. but not unkind. "Hi, Mum." "Hi, Dad," Luna said quietly, stepping inside. The familiar scent of her mother's cooking wrapped around her. Garlic, rosemary, something roasting in the oven. Her mother blinked back tears. "You look lovely." Her father nodded, his voice rough. "You do." Really, Luna's throat tightened. "Thank you." Dinner began with stilted conversation, long pauses, a few nervous laughs, the clatter of cutlery filling the silence. But slowly, warmth crept back in. Her parents asked about her new job, her co-workers, the city. Her mother smiled at Luna's stories, genuinely listening. Her father chuckled when Luna described her first day jitters and how she'd nearly spilled coffee on her new boss. By dessert, the tension had melted into something gentler, familiar, safe. As they cleared the table, her father hesitated, wiping his hands on a dish towel. "Luna," he said slowly, "I know. This hasn't been easy for any of us. We've said the wrong things. We're still learning. But we love you. We've always loved you." Luna's breath hitched. Her mother came closer, placing a trembling hand on her arm. "We're proud of you, sweetheart, for having the courage to be true to yourself." Tears spilled freely down Luna's cheeks. She nodded, her voice breaking. "Thank you. That's all I ever wanted, for you to see me." Her mother pulled her into a hug and her father's arms joined a moment later. A family, healing, imperfect but trying together. When Luna finally stepped back out into the night, the air felt softer, cleaner somehow. The stars glimmered above the quiet street, and for the first time in years, she felt truly home. Later that night, back in her apartment, Luna called Aria. "Well?" Aria asked anxiously. Luna smiled, sinking into the couch. "It went better than I ever hoped. We're not fixed overnight, but we're okay. We're trying. And that's enough." "I'm so proud of you, Lou," Aria said, her voice thick with emotion. "You all deserve happiness." After hanging up, Luna wandered to her mirror again, the same one she'd stared into weeks ago. The woman looking back seemed steadier now, her eyes full of quiet strength. She wasn't a stranger anymore. Luna sat at her desk, opened her journal, and began a new entry. "Dear future me, if you're reading this, I hope you're still moving forward, still learning, still growing. I hope you're surrounded by people who love you, who call you by your name with pride. You've come such a long way, Luna. Never forget how far you've travelled to be here. You're enough. You are home." She closed the journal and rested her hand on it for a moment, her heart calm and full. Then she switched off the light, crawled into bed and let the quiet night wrap around her. Outside, the city murmured softly, alive with possibility. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new victories, new ordinary moments. And she was ready for all of them. As sleep began to claim her, a small smile curved her lips. She was here. She was whole. She was Luna. "Thanks for watching," she whispered drowsily, almost out of habit, the corners of her mouth lifting in a sleepy grin. For more stories like mine, don't forget to follow Luna Truths. And remember, whoever you are, your story matters.